don't have the answer here. Rather, I am just genuinely very confused and would like to share some of my thoughts about the question. Like, for some small scale examples, this video. It's past midnight. I have been up for hours trying to figure out what I want to make today's video about. And part of me keeps saying, like, just skip a day, don't worry about it. But yet, I like to stick with my consistent upload schedule. And so this other part of me is like, no, you're going to force yourself to figure out something to talk about. Kind of like this morning or yesterday morning at this point. Um, I laid around in bed a little bit too long, and I did not have time to eat breakfast before heading out to this free yoga class that I've been going to every week. Well, it's only my second week going, so second time going. But even still, like, I managed to gather myself enough and force myself to go when the easier and maybe better thing to do would have been to just stay home and make breakfast and like have a do some yoga at home rather than rushing to get somewhere and rushing to get back and then being hungry all morning. I don't know. But specifically, I asked this question because I spent a lot of the entirety of this winter, but also a lot of last summer thinking, and well, honestly, pretty much my whole life, thinking about the will to live and like what is the purpose and meaning of life, what the hell is consciousness, why is there something rather than nothing, all these big questions. But specifically, like, purpose, meaning, the will to live, and I think how those tie in with this forcing ourselves to do things. Because in my experience, um, on a long enough time scale, I think forcing yourself to do anything is always a bad thing, right? It's so highly regarded in our culture as a good thing, um, that you need to have perseverance to push your way through the hard times and like, but is it really worth it? I think most of the time it's a masochistic, maladaptive, I'm going to achieve my goal at all costs. And you end up going through way more suffering than it's worth. And then all you have left at the end of life is this little achievement that you can just cling to as a coping mechanism to justify all this suffering that you've endured, and as a way of justifying um, shaming others for not being willing to do uh, similar levels of suffering, which is just fucking retarded. Like, the goal should not be suffering, right? Like, is that really such an absurd radical statement to say, like, the goal should be to minimize suffering, not to justify suffering? So in my experience, forcing your way through anything is never worth it, but yet we do it. And yet it's often necessary in order to exist, which is a new like, how do I explain it? Like, I've always felt like I was saying that we force ourselves to do things that are not worth doing, and we're forcing ourselves to live, and like, I would go so far as to say that that's not worth doing, but yet here we are. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't like that I shied away from it because, like, I knew what I was gonna say, And then I paused for a moment, and then I forgot like exactly the way I wanted to say it, and then I was like, okay, now I have to figure out this, like, what was I gonna say again? And then I said it in like not quite as well worded as I wanted to. I don't know where to go with this or what more can be said about it, but it's just something that I've noticed. There's something there. I just can't see it right now. Question everything.